little behind the scenes. People have no idea the amount of work that goes into this stuff.
Sims goes 1285, takes the win. Andrews 1283 at 110.
Doing some tuning over there?
I'm just turning down the launch RPM a little bit as it gets colder. Oil cap on that one because it's been on there for 8 years. So.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what we took parts from the Mustang to mend the Camaro.
Really? Just now?
Yeah. Yeah. So we got here and it had an oil splash and the oil cap. That we take it on and off so much to change the oil that it just got wore out. And the little lip on it used to be really hard to pull out. Now it's just been like, whoop, so it just kind of fell out.
So what are we looking at here?
It's an 86 Camaro that we put together as a street car. We want it to be dependable, fast, quiet, and still retain fuel mileage and be able to be dependable to drive it anywhere.
Okay.
So I do events like Drag Week, Summit Midwest Drags, West Michigan 2 Street, anywhere, any race that is Drag Weekend 500 that involves driving the car from one track to another track. We have a small little $300 garage sale trailer I pull behind it.
Okay.
That I've owned since 2009. So it's a 427 LS.
Yeah.
Single 98mm turbo.
Okay.
4L80E transmission built by Rossler, and then trick chassis up in Wisconsin. Outlaw Fab 9 with 325 rear gear, 40 spline gun drilled axles in a spool. So it's 24 mile a gallon on the highway pulling the trailer.
Wow.
And it's quiet.
What did you just say about the axles?
They're a 40 spline gun drilled axle.
Okay. But the car went by and I don't think I heard you.
Yeah. It's stuff that I shouldn't ever break with the power that I make. So.
And you go pretty quick in this thing.
It's been 798 at 173 so far.
With how much mile per gallon?
24 mile a gallon.
24 mile a gallon, and you do sevens.
Yeah. So we just kind of sneak up on the tune. It's been together 7 years now. In the spring it'll be 8. Where we haven't had to pull the motor at all.
Really?
No, it's never been freshened up, and well, it would be 8 years. But we're taking the motor out this fall to make sure. And the short travel comp lifters, they I don't know how long their lifespan is. I've changed the springs 2 years ago. Just make sure you don't have a spring failure to drop them out.
Yeah.
It's cheap insurance. So it's really been fairly. Check a plug every pass, pull a data log, make sure everything's looking right there. Maybe put a degree of timing in it, so it's been really good. I think we got the Rossler 4L80 between Carl and my data logs and things like that. I think we got it ironed out where it's going to live a happy life now. I had a lot of issues at first because I had the wrong cam in the car.
Yeah.
John Bewley ended up speccing a cam for me, solved all my issues. So it drives better than it ever has, and comes up on boost really fast, less than 3 seconds. So once that was fixed, it changed the whole dependability of the car as far as the transmission is concerned.
Okay.
The rear end hasn't been an issue and the motor hasn't been an issue, but keeping a 4L80 alive in that environment is tough. The pump is the problem, but Rossler had me put a bypass valve in it, which relieves pressure on the converter and the pump. So this is the first year with that, and I've noticed a big difference in how it performs.
All right.
So
unbelievable. Without touching the motor.
No, I've only changed the camshaft and the springs.
Wow.
That's all I've done to it in 7 years.
Wow. And you probably raced it a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's been on 3 drag weeks, 1 Summit Midwest drag, the Drag Weekend 500, and then in the summer I daily it. So. Oh yeah, I daily it.
That's so cool.
It's probably got at least 30,000 miles on it.
Wow.
At least. So
that's impressive.
It's time for a checkup. It really is. I don't want something minimal to turn into something major where it's more costly.
Yeah.
So it's just a good idea to pull it down this winter, check everything over, replace the lifters.
Yeah.
Now they've come out with better lifter technology since 2012 or 13, whatever it was when we put it together.
Okay.
It would have been we had running in 2013. So hasn't come back apart since.
It's all right. Well, so we're gonna run a couple more times. The rest of the night?
I won that first round, so I turned the launch RPM down just a smidge.
Because it's cooling down.
It's cooling
a
down
tiny bit. It is supposed to stay like 55 supposedly.
Yeah, it's gonna plane out here this evening, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna start turning it down a little because the cooler it gets, the more mad that motor gets. It just makes a lot more power. So
All right.
keep it calm and safe.
Yeah, just smart too.
So I think we're down to 6-ish or something like that.
Okay.
After the first round, so then it'll be down to 3 if everything went the way it's supposed to go. And then it'll be a final, one way or the other.
Okay.
So we got 3 or 4 more, 2,
Yep.
3 round around, something like that. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I won it last year, so
Did you? Okay.
yeah,
Okay. All
it'd be
right.
nice to duplicate last year before I take it apart.
Absolutely. So this is it for the year?
Yeah. We're
Nice.
I'm pulling it after this. We're gonna go stay tonight at a local motel, and then or go to a local tavern here that we really enjoy eating at.
Yeah.
And then we'll call it a year for this one, and we'll take it apart. And for the first time, the transmission's not coming out.
Okay.
It's staying in the car.
Well, I'm glad I caught your last night out.
Yeah, thanks for being able to share this stuff. It's really fun for us, and it's a fun little car. So is the Mustang.
I like that thing. I love to capture this stuff too. Because then you get to rewatch it or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate you putting it on video.
And I see. Have you ever been on 1320 or?
Yeah, Kyle knows the car pretty well. I mean,
All right.
normally there's only one third gen with a whole giant hole in the fender for the turbo, and it's
I just noticed that a second ago. I have to go look at that thing.
yeah. Actually, the way I made that, I tried positioning the turbo when I was designing it, and the more I thought about it, it's going to be an open turbo, so I don't want it forward facing because I drive it on the street so much. I want it to be on the side, and I want it tucked in, so if it rains, it never gets into the turbo, it never gets into the intercooler. I've had it in a rainstorm, and it never goes in the inlet of the turbo just because it's pulled in there. But
Wow.
it still pulls cold air.
Okay.
Obviously, because it's outside the engine bay. That's one of my pet peeves is to always pull cold air from outside the engine bay. It doesn't matter what car it is. If we're
All right.
designing something, it has to pull
From
cold
out.
air, just like the Mustang. That 4-inch pipe goes down through the body, then it's got a K&N about this long, but it's underneath the bumper where it's out of the engine bay. So
Okay.
it pulls old cold air from right off the ground.
All right.
So
That adds up.
it just ends up making the intercooler more efficient.
Yeah.
So this is a 6-inch thick air-to-air shear fabrication intercooler. It's supposed to be on a 4th gen. We just engineered brackets to make it work.
Okay.
It's really a simple setup. I can take it off the interstate, drive it for 2 hours, and then roll right in the lanes. If I'm going to run these tires, and it'll knock off in 804.
That's
I don't
crazy.
change anything. I don't even change the tune from street to
Wow. Really?
track. No, as soon as
Holy.
it goes 60 seconds from the time it starts, it dumps all the dome pressure off. So you're on 10 pounds and you can run on 93. You can beat on it on 93. It doesn't care.
Wow.
So when I go on the track, if I grab the trans brake, it sets a whole nother boost curve, and it goes to 23 pounds, and it's safe for race fuel. So if I'm grabbing the trans brake, I better have race fuel in it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. I made it foolproof for that reason. I don't want to screw up and have it go on a different boost. Simple mistakes like that will end up having you go through the motor or burn up a piston or something. So try to take that out of the equation. Remove the idiot. Just like everything inside the car is designed the same way.
Yeah.
You have to have a safety override to get the trans brake to work. It's the stock shifter that's in the car. The parachute pull is the emergency brake. So that's how you pull up the parachute.
Okay.
So I try to integrate everything into the stock interior as I possibly could. Still the stock steering wheel and the bump buttons on that.
I have to go look at the interior now.
Oh yeah, it's pretty neat.
There's a lot of thought that went into this thing.
Towerside kicks it way red. 713 and 94 on the 7.
that is really,
Window World Lane, 727 the dial.
Look at that
Pro
steering wheel.
Stacy Gerald dial
Stock steering wheel, and
606.
stock center console.
And that's the parachute right over there.
Yep, the emergency brake handle is the parachute. It still has heat. It still has makeshift air conditioning. There's a 2.5 gallon ice water chest in the back.
Okay.
That I circulate ice water through, and it comes out the vents.
That's so cool.
So yeah, I tried to retain as much stock interior as I possibly could. I couldn't do rear seats anymore with the 750 cage. That kind of eliminated that. But when I had the 850 cage, I still had rear seats.
Okay.
The kids used to ride with me.
Yep.
So
That's crazy,
Tower
man.
side kicks are
I would have never thought all this about this car. I guess you gotta ask to find out, huh? Like I wouldn't.
kind of, unless you notice it, you're not gonna know.
Real straight, short standby, gangster
All right.
street, small tire, and real straight.
They calling you?
Oh, all right. Oh, so we got the next thing.
718 the dial, Pro Tree Tile Hall.
Well, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your time telling me all about that.
Yep, no problem. You guys have a great weekend.
You too, thank you.
Yep.
Smiley 787 and
There's
85.
a 1320.
Still.
I survived impound inspection.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You got a vanity plate?
I do. Your 5.0 is slow.
Let me see.
It's been my license plate for a long time with F-body Camaro.
Your 5.0 is slow. Do you have like you must have like suspension stuff I should look at?
It's all stock. It's all stock style suspension. It's all stock.
I don't know if I could see
stock
it,
style
but-
fork arms, stock lower control arms,
I'll see, but
stock coil springs in the back.
that's crazy.
It is 100%.
I hope I can hear you what you just said, so I think I could.
Yeah, this is an all stock style suspension car. All bolt on stock style suspension. So that's what I typically run in. Is a class that you're required to have stock style suspension.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we had to put it all back in.
All right.
Damn, that's crazy.
Thanks.
I thought it would be all like bling.
604.
Wow.
No. It's just business.
Yep.
All right. One more round. Hopefully get more. Next round. Yeah.
Because I think you told me that your best before was 7.9, so you just bested.
Yeah, it went
798.
it went quicker than it's ever gone before.
Really? Oh, nice.
We ramped the boost out, so it wouldn't keep doing freaking wheel stands, and I wouldn't keep having a lead out of it on the 1-2 shift. So,
All right.
yeah, it went 7.988 at 172. So,
And that's a new best.
mile an hour is 1 mile an hour down than what it normally, well, what the best mile an hour is done, but
ET wise.
ET wise, yeah, I believe so.
Excellent. Glad to be here for your best pass.
Yeah, there it is. 7.988 at 172.
Awesome.
If I keep the front end down, we could probably do a little better on the 60 foots, but it's a work in progress.
All right.
We're doing suspension stuff next year, so we quit doing the wheel stands and the thing stays just.
Yep.
That's what needs to happen. It's got too much travel in the front end, which we can limit right now, but to upset everything and start something new at this point just isn't smart because the car works. It's just one little thing at a time. You know, that's what you do. Methodically, just one step, one notch on the limiters on the front end, do that next.
Let's get our bracket racers.
Shock stuff, I got to send them all out. So I got a lot of work to do this winter.
Never ends, right?
No, I mean, most of the time we don't have to do anything to it, which is nice.
Yeah.
But now it's time to buckle down and get it consistent.
All right.
On to the final.
Good luck.